What's up, my beautiful people? How are you all doing? I trust you're all doing good. In case you're coming across my videos for the first time, my name is Maureen Nike. Welcome to my YouTube channel. To my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you for always taking your time. Thank you for always coming back to give me support. It is something that I cannot take for granted. It means a lot to me and I really appreciate. Welcome to today's vlog, where we're going to talk about some of the challenges we face as immigrants in the US, how we take care of our kids, and how the challenges we go through to get the good daycare. As you well know that when you come from home, like where I come from, Kenya, Africa, and you transition to a new country, it's a challenge. So when you have kids younger than 4 years, it's even more challenging because, you know, here you don't have a support system and it is gonna be on you, or if you have kids. But I'm gonna talk about the age of the daycare, that is 4 years and below. So you find that it's a little bit challenge on the immigrants, because we don't have that support system like back at home. We don't have our friends, we don't have our families, we don't have our parents who can you can take your kids, they can help you raise your kid. So here, if you have your spouse, if you're single, it is on you. It's you to know how, like if you have your space, you know how you're gonna organize your schedule. Maybe one parent can work at night, another one can work during the day, over the weekend. Like your schedule has to elap from each other, so that one parent can stay at home with the kid. And also in that case, sometimes, you know, you take the kid to the daycare so that both of you can get a chance to go to work. And if you're single, you know, it's gonna be hard on you. It's very challenging. You can't take your kid to the daycare, or it will force you to have a nanny to take care of somebody to take care of your kid while you're going to work, in case you want to go to work. So you find like here people jungle from work and raising kids. It's a little bit of a challenge, and you find that most of us, most of the immigrants, we take our kids to the daycare when they are still very, very young. At the daycare, they even take them from the 3 months to, you know, to even 4 years. Yes, as early as 3 months, because maybe you want to go back to work. So like in my case, I took my baby when she turned 2 years. Yeah, so I went through a lot of challenges finding a good daycare. And then you know, I moved from Maryland to Georgia State. So I was totally new in this in Georgia State. So getting somebody who can walk me through this daycare process wasn't I didn't have that person. I didn't have anybody to ask, you know. So that's why I'm gonna share my personal experience, how I went through that transition of getting daycares, and, you know, and what the biggest lesson that I learned out of it. So in case you're planning to travel to the US, or you're already here, you might face this kind of challenge, and just know that you are not by yourself. These are the challenges that most parents go through, and if you just do your research, you're gonna find it, and, you know, you're gonna got this. And that's why we come here to share our experiences. So when I moved to Georgia, I was looking for a daycare, and I didn't know about daycares. So this daycare that was next to our neighborhood, I decided to take my daughter to that daycare, since it was the most nearing daycare. And also the name, when I look at the name, it was one of the chains of the daycares, like it's a big company. I said, let me go with this daycare. So I went there, asked for I asked for a space, and fortunately I got, and they didn't have a long waiting list. There was no waiting list. I went there, went to the reception, and I requested for the space, and I was told, when do you want to start? It was about me. And then I say, okay, I can start as soon as possible. Like I wanted to start immediately. Then I was given the forms, which I did, the paperwork and everything. Within a short time, the baby was enrolled in the daycare. And then also one of the things, because in this daycare we also had the pros and the cons. When I went to this daycare, they had cameras where we could monitor the kids even from wherever you were on your phone. That was a very good thing, and it gave me confidence that, yeah, this is a good daycare. So I enrolled my child the first month, second month, And anytime I went and checked at the cameras, I didn't like it. Like anytime I went to the check what's going on, how my baby's faring on in school, every time I check in, I feel so low. Like I could see even there were many kids in the class. I didn't ask many questions. Like this daycare, I just picked it randomly. I was desperate. I didn't ask many questions. So that's why I do want you to make a mistake as somebody who is looking for a daycare, or you will be looking for a daycare. Go there, ask questions, make sure that all your questions has been answered comfortably and you feel satisfied with them before you do enrollment. And when my baby was in this school, I went through a lot. Like I saw many things that were not pleasing to me. Like there were many kids in the classroom, and the teachers in the classroom, they were overwhelmed with the number of these kids. So at some point they were just chatting on their phones. They were not paying attention to the kids. Kids were running up and about. Some were climbing on top of the chairs or whatever. They are everywhere. And teachers were just on their phones. They don't even care when they're being somebody's looking at the camera for them. So that is one thing that I didn't like it about it. And then the hygiene wasn't that good. And then also they didn't have a curriculum. Like kids were just watching TV from morning to the time they are coming back home. It's not structured to this there's no homework, there's nothing, there's no learning going on there. So you find that the kid is not even progressing, is not even learning anything new. So and then also they didn't even care about the need of the kid. For instance, when we had these extreme weathers, it was winter, and they could even take kids. This is the one day that my kid was taken out, and it was during the winter, without even jacket, a proper warm up. So that was the day that I said it's time to do what? It's time to pull my baby out of that school, because I tried to even talk to engage them, and they weren't ready to change. So I felt that maybe it is me that need a change. So I had to pull my baby out of that daycare, because every single day I was dropping my baby to school, and she didn't like it. She didn't have good attitude. She comes back home, she's crying. You can just see the baby is not comfortable. And this thing, drains me a lot. And then, when you're taking your baby, you want to a certain daycare, you want to see the value of your money. Because number one, these daycares they're very expensive. Some of them are even very expensive than even colleges back at home. So when you're paying a lot of money and you are not seeing the value of the services, then you feel so bad. Even the communication between the parent and the teachers, they were not there. It was zero. So that is the time that I said, no, you know what, this is a time to pull out my baby. So I went to the drawing board to look for a good daycare. And then by this time now I had somebody whom I consulted, and she gave me a review of a certain daycare. So I went online, checked this daycare. I had an appointment with them. I was given an appointment, went there to do the school tour, and then I had a chance to talk with the director of the school. And then all the mistake I made previously, I learned from my previous mistakes. So I had all my questions written down, and I wanted to see how they're gonna be answered. I wanted my questions to be answered comfortably. I didn't want to take chance this time round, because I had messed before. So I went there, asked about the curriculum, asked about the food, asked about the child safety, asked about the turnover, the ratio between the teachers and the student. I asked many questions. So these are some of the questions you really, really need to put in consideration when you're looking for a good daycare. They have to stand up in your list. For instance, you have to know about the safety of your child. You have to know about how you communicate with the teachers, to the parent. You have to know about the diet, the menu, the activities of the day. You want to have a full timetable. You want to know what they do certain day, and you have to know, you have to have their calendars, that is. And also you want to know the hygiene. How is it the hygiene? And this school, I went there, even looked how I was welcomed. it was good. It shows something, like, you know, when you go somewhere and someone appreciates you, you will always know. And also hygiene. I love the fact that when you drop your kid, they wash their hands before they go to the building. There's a place you leave them, and now they're being taken with the receiver. There's a system flowing. You drop them, they're being received with the receiver, wash your hands, then they proceed to their class. And there's a place they put on their shoes before they get into the class. That was very good. And then when I check out the classrooms, they were well organized. The washrooms, you can access everywhere. As a parent, you're being showed everything. That was a plus, and I was satisfied. And then I also love the fact that there's a certain number. When they reach, they can't take any kids anymore. Like, they're working with a certain number that is comfortable, so that the teachers don't feel overwhelmed. And you also want each and every child to be served as an individual. You know, this was very helpful. And also, what I also observed is when I enrolled my kid, the attitude changed. My baby loved that school. When you're dropping her in the morning, you feel like she's so happy. She just wants to go to school. And when she comes back home in the evening, sometimes when I go for her, you go pick the baby, she still wants to stay in school. She still wants to, you know, remain with the teacher. That is something that shows you, because you know your child better. When something is not okay and when they are happy, you would always know. So these are some of the things that really attached my heart, because you know, some kids are very young to the point like they can't express themselves. So you want to learn about their body language. If they are communicating, something is good, makes you happy, and when something they are not happy, feel frustrated, then as a parent you can't be in a good shape. And even if you're working, it won't give you the peace of mind. You can only go to work and perform and be resourceful to your company or to your workplace or to your business if you know that your kid is well taken care of and they are very comfortable. This is very key, and that is what you want to look for. I know some of you can relate to this video. If you feel anything, if you feel that we are together in this, or you want to add something, that, or you can also add it on the comment section, so that we also learn from each other. Maybe my experience was different from yours. You can let us know in the comment section, so that the parents that are going through this can also, you know, learn something from each other, you know, from us. So that was it. I know it is very hard, but if you do a good research, if you do thorough research, you'll find a solution. And make sure that you look a good daycare for your loved one, because this is the place that you leave them for the longest hours of the day, and you want them to have the best of experience. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly consider subscribing before you leave the video, and I will really appreciate. Thank you, and see you again on our next one. Bye bye.